Welcome to Fenway Park. It's day baseball. Doesn't get much better than this. It's the Tampa Bay Rays and the Boston Red Sox in Game 3 of a 3-game series. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox in the not-so-distant past had lost 10 games in a row, but all of a sudden now put together 6 in a row in what has been a very good stretch for Boston.
Well, what a difference a week makes for the Boston Red Sox, and this week has been incredible for them in the 6-game winning streak, and the numbers kind of bear it out. You see where the strengths of the ball club have been. The starting pitching 3-0 with a 3.53 ERA. Look at the bullpen, an 0.47 ERA in 19 and a third innings. The team batting average close to 300 at 295, 16 extra base hits, and Xander Bogaerts leading the way at 440 with 4 doubles, 7 runs scored. So those are some of the reasons the Red Sox right now are on this 6-0 streak. John Lester on the mound today, hopefully to make it 7 and try to get back closer to the top of the American League East.
It was not a team the Red Sox would rather beat and sweep in a series, the Tampa Bay Rays. As Jerry mentioned, Lester on the hill, 5-6 on the year, 12-9 lifetime against the Rays. We're back with the first pitch right after this. Southwest Airlines, New England Audi dealers, Dunkin' Donuts, Mazda, Sullivan Tire and Auto Repair, and by Toyota's website for deals via Toyota.com. Well, it is finally summer in Boston as the Red Sox back home again today to wrap up this homestand and to wrap up the 3-game series against the visiting Tampa Bay Rays and trying to continue this stretch of wins. Red Sox having won their last 6 straight. Well, before we get started, let's send it down to field level and El Duncan.
Thanks, Don. Brock Holt was on his way home when he got a phone call from third base coach Brian Butterfield last night saying, "Hey, Brock, you're going to be playing first base tomorrow. You'll be fine. See you on the field at 10:30 and we'll get some work in." And that's exactly what he did pregame. But talking with Brock ahead of time, I asked him, how do you get prepared? He said, well, I really have no idea. Ask Butters how it works. So I talked with Brian Butterfield about how in one day you can get a guy to go from second base to third and then to his unnatural position at first, and our Geico quote of the day.
Well, you don't really, but, you know, we have a great trust in Brock, and Brock's a confident guy. He's playing well, so, you know, we're a mass unit right now, so we've got to put somebody over there, and Brock's very athletic, and he's an infielder, so it's not like you're taking an outfielder and trying to put him at first base. So we're confident in what Brock can do. We feel like we can play him anywhere on the field, and I think he'll be fine today. I really do.
Brock said one of the biggest differences is just figuring out the footwork, and he says he's so used to anytime someone gets a ground ball kind of standing around and watching. So today, Don, he said his head will have to be on a swivel or the ball's going to no one.
Well, it'll be interesting nevertheless. But the Red Sox right now with some injuries and some guys playing out of position. But, Jerry, how big a deal do you think it really is for Brock Holt moving to first base today?
It's a big deal. I think that anytime you switch positions, especially, going from second base to third base, now back to first base for Brock, it's difficult. And, to find out last night you're going to be playing first base and get out here early this morning to try to cover as much work as possible. I think one of the things that comes with that is, where do you go and cut off positions, bunt plays, different things like that become an issue. But, he's done a fine job wherever you put him. So I wouldn't expect anything but a first-class job from him today at first base.
Well, it is a first-class day here at Fenway Park with the breeze blowing from right to left right now at the ballpark as we'll take a look at our conditions. 73 degrees to begin the ball game. The breeze in from right at 7 miles per hour. And the forecast is for more of the same today. And blue skies above here at Fenway, and a welcome sight after what was a very chilly April and May. But here we are into June, and it's starting to feel like June here around here for a change. And Red Sox getting ready to finish up their last game of this homestand before heading out on a lengthy trip as the Red Sox will be headed to Cleveland, Detroit, and Baltimore before getting back here to Fenway Park. And because of their 6-game winning streak coming into today's game, vastly better in the AL East than where they were just a couple of days ago. Now 6 games back of the Blue Jays as the Yankees are 2.5 back of the Jays, and the Rays, as a result of their hard times, they've now lost 5 games in a row, have slipped to 9.5 games back in the AL East. So as it stands right now, you have the 2 top teams last year in the American League East, with the Red Sox winning the division, Tampa Bay wild card, and right now they're 4-5 in the AL East. Now the Red Sox taking the field today. As they do, let's check out the Tampa Bay Rays starting 9. Ben Zobrist will lead it off as Zobrist has moved to shortstop in this game. The late change to the lineup for the Rays. Desmond Jennings in center field with Evan Longoria at third base. Jerry Sands is the DH, just called back up from Durham. Sean Rodriguez in left field with Logan Forsythe playing at second base. It is James Loney at first base for the Rays. Jose Molina does the catching, and Kevin Kiermaier is in right field. He bats 9th for Tampa Bay. On the mound for the Red Sox, John Lester. It's brought to you by your New England Audi dealers. Experience the all-new 2015 Audi A3 today. For Lester, his 12th start of the year, 5-6 with a 3.45 earned run average, 83 Ks to 21 walks, and opponents hitting at .252 against John Lester. Last time out against the Atlanta Braves, with 6 innings, giving up 3 runs. He struck out 7, walked 3, as he picked up his 5th win of the year.
Well, the Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and they are 7th in the league with 33 errors in 55 games. Jonathan Herrera at third base, Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia back in the lineup today at second base. And Brock Holt, as we talked about, making the start at first. Left to right, Johnny Gomes, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Alex Hassan. And David Ross doing the catching for John Lester.
Well, the umpiring crew here today, DJ Rayburn has a play calling the balls and strikes. Tom Woodring at first base, Dan Bellino at second base, and the crew chief is Ted Barrett. This game is available in Spanish. The SAP function is brought to you by the new Captain Morgan White Rum.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
Well, a Major League debut today for Alex Hassan. Saying before the ball game that not just a dream, the dream to play at Fenway Park in his first Major League game, and it happens today. Born in Quincy, Mass., 26 years of age, and here he is. Ben Zobrist standing in to get it started for Tampa Bay. Lester ready to work, and the first pitch of the ball game in there for strike 1, and we're underway. Zobrist, who was activated just before Friday night's game off the DL after going on the DL, the dislocated finger. He's played the weekend here back with the Rays, and certainly adds to the depth of this Rays ball club. He's a good player. Quickly down 0-2. Strike 3 call over the outside corner. The troubles for Zobrist against Lester continue.
Now John Lester going to the outside corner with the fastball to pick up a strikeout on 3 pitches. It was fastball, curveball, and back to the fastball away to pick up the first strikeout of the ball game. John Lester has not faced Tampa Bay this season, but in his career 12-9 with a 4.30 ERA.
One down for Desmond Jennings. Jennings, the center fielder for Tampa Bay, sliding into the 2 spot at 234. 5 homers and 13 runs batted in.
That's a pitch right there that Lester wanted. Looked like he had the bottom of the strike zone with it.
Make an argument on the first 2 for Lester. This one grounded foul into the Rays dugout.
Now Jennings has good numbers against Lester. 360 in his career with a home run.
Jennings hitting at just 169 against right-handed pitching. Much better against lefties. And 255 coming in. Swing and a miss as Lester battles back 2-2.
That's the cut fastball right there from Lester, so we've seen everything but the changeup. John throwing hard here in the first inning, 294-95 with the fastball.
Fouled off at the plate, biting in. Lester trying to get back individually to the 500 mark, coming in at 5-6. Away, ball 4, and Jennings is aboard. So a 1-out walk. Well, fans, you can test your Red Sox IQ right now with the MLB Preplay mobile app. Download for free and start predicting every at-bat of every Red Sox game all season. Today, Preplay predicts John Lester will go 6 2/3 innings, allowing 5 hits and giving up 2 earned runs while striking out 8.
You know, when you look at that last pitch, it was really a strike, but the fact that Ross was set up inside and the ball went to the outside corner and he had to reach across, that's why they didn't get the call. See where Ross goes. He's setting up inside. Watch where the fastball is. It's right on the outside corner, but because he had to reach across, the umpire did not give him the call.
Swing and a miss. That one's by Longoria, 94. Batting .293 over the last 9 games is Evan Longoria. Overall at .260. 5 homers and 23 runs batted in. A tough stretch. Previous 24 games hitting at .191. Seemed to come out of it when the Red Sox were in St. Pete. 3-for-4 game against Boston. First game of that series, and really has enjoyed playing in St. Pete this year. Not so much away from the Trop.
Jennings at first base, 11 steals on the season.
And a 17-game homerless drought. Prior to his home run against the Red Sox on May 25th, solo home run in that game. He started all 57 games that the Rays have played so far this season. He's DH'd 1 time, otherwise the rest have been starting at third base. Late strike call. Delayed call from DJ Rayburn. Took a good long look.
Yeah, Rayburn has been a little bit inconsistent on these corner calls here in the first inning. Longoria thought that ball was outside, drops the bat, ready to take off his shin guard, but has to get back in the box.
Longoria chops it left side. Diving Herrera can't get it. Bogarts can, but didn't do nothing with it. As he's able to gather it deep short, and Longoria's got himself an infield hit with 1 out in the inning.
And once that ball got by Jonathan Herrera, nothing at all Bogarts could do. There was no play at second and obvious no play at first base. Herrera goes into the dive. Bogarts with the backhand, but very wisely holds on to the baseball.
Two on, one away, and Jerry Sands the batter. His numbers with AAA Durham called up today, with Will Myers going on the DL for Tampa Bay, injuring his hand, and the play out in center field on Friday night, and the walk-off win for the Red Sox. And the collision with Desmond Jennings, and ended up that Myers ended up on the worst end of it. So Sands not only in there today after being called up from Durham, but he's a cleanup hitter. .26-year-old. The injury on Myers, not actually his hand, it is a right wrist sprain that has Will Myers placed on the 15-day DL. Jerry Sands spent the entire spring training with the Rays. And he grounds one foul outside of third. And Friday night, Jennings and Myers coming together in the triangle to try to field this fly ball off the bat of A.J. Przinsky, and neither could get it. They collide pretty hard, and Myers ends up even looking initially like Jennings got the worst of it, still down. It's Myers who ends up on the DL.
Yeah, it was interesting because it did look like Jennings got the worst of that collision. He was down for a while, and it ends up Myers going on a disabled list.
Jerry Sands, who was with the Red Sox very briefly, acquired by the Red Sox after the 2012 season. After he was a player to be named later in the Dodgers deal, but never played with the Red Sox, and he strikes out. And it's the second strikeout for Lester, 2 down.
Well, right now Lester's painting that outside corner with that fastball. He's had a couple that have gone his way, a couple that have not gone his way, but I'll tell you what, if he keeps it out there all day long, it might be a long day for these Tampa Bay hitters.
Struck out Zobrist, strikes out Sands. Here's Sean Rodriguez, leading the team in home runs with 6 on the year, 20 RBIs, and a .232 average. He'll take strike one. Jennings at second, Longoria at first, 2 down here in the first inning. Now today is the 16th game that the Rays have faced a left-handed starter, and Sean Rodriguez has started all 16 of those Rays games against lefties, and now 52 of the last 54. Dating back to last year. Look out. Line shot into the photographer's well. Look out, L. Duncan. Mark Wilcox over there. Get in there in a hurry. Rodriguez fouls it straight back, still 0-2. And David Ross calls time. He's heading out to talk to John Lester here. So the numbers for Sean Rodriguez against lefties. A great homestand for the Red Sox so far. It's the Braves and now the Rays. Lester ahead, 0-2. Rodriguez grounds it to short. Bogarts on the run and in time to end the inning. The Rays stranded pair. Red Sox are coming up from the fence. Pitchers presented by your New England Nissan dealers on this Junior Announcer Day from Fenway.
Thanks, Mr. Orsillo. My name is Matt Terry, and I'm from Prospect, Connecticut. Here's today's Red Sox lineup. Leading off, the first baseman, Brock Holt. At shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. The second baseman, Dustin Pedroia. The DH, Big Papi, David Ortiz. In left field, Johnny Gomes. In right field, Alex Hassan. In the catcher, David Ross. In center field, Jackie Bradley Jr. At third base, Jonathan Herrera.
Nice job, Matt, as leading it off. Brock Holt here for the Red Sox in the bottom of the first inning. Last time the Red Sox had a first baseman starting in leadoff position, September of '06, Kevin Youkilis against Baltimore. So it has been a while. Brock Holt now at first base. The pitcher for the Rays today, Eric Bedard, the former Red Sox left-hander. His 10th appearance, 9th start of the year, 2-3, 30 strikeouts, 18 walks, and 41 2/3 innings. Bedard kind of thrust into this rotation for the Rays after the injuries early this season started to pile up to the Rays rotation right out of the gate.
Had a very tough outing his last time out. He only lasted 4 innings against Toronto, giving up 13 hits and 8 earned runs.
That is a tough outing right there. Looking at the numbers against the Blue Jays, and certainly a tough team. Very good offense, as we have all found out.
And once again, Holt doing his job as a leadoff man, running that count to 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Fly ball to left field. Sean Rodriguez going back, carrying very well, and it's going to be off the wall. Gets by Rodriguez. Holt will round second and stop there. That ball just took off. First didn't look like he was going to reach the wall. It does, and Holt stands at second with a leadoff double.
Yeah, it's a slight breeze blowing in that direction today, and Holt, what a leadoff job. You know, you get a 3-2 count, then he gets a fastball down the middle, takes it to the opposite field. Right now, it doesn't matter, right-hander, left-hander, he's getting on base. I think Rodriguez was surprised, too, the ball carried that far as it bounces over his head. And Holt standing at second base with the double.
So in scoring position, nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning for Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts 1 for 3 here yesterday and 4 for 8 now in the series against Tampa Bay. In there for a strike. Well, today's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Frostbrewed Coors Light. Xander Bogaerts has reached base 3 or more times with an extra base hit in 4 straight games. Only other Red Sox player to do that since 2000. David Ortiz in 07 and Manny Ramirez in 06. Foul off to the right, and it's 1-2 to the Red Sox shortstop.
Now it looks like Bogaerts on that swing was trying to take the ball to the opposite field too with that man at second base, trying to drive the ball to the right side.
Bogaerts fooled on the pitch and strikes out as Bedard gets his first K and first out of the afternoon.
Changeup, high changeup that time from Bedard to pick up the strikeout. The off-speed fooled Xander Bogaerts. It wasn't in a great location, but the off-speed part of it fooled him.
And one down, Holt at second base. Molina was out to talk to Bedard, and comes Dustin Pedroia back in the Red Sox lineup again, and certainly good news yesterday. They learned there was no fracture in the hand and is back in. Yesterday off, 1 for 4 on Friday night. .275 on the year for the Red Sox second baseman. Let's take a look at our Chevy key player. Dustin Pedroia in the month of June, career 300 hitter, 14 home runs, 95 runs batted in, a total of 171 games in June in his career. The 1 pitch, almost getting a piece of Pedroia. Holt led the inning off with a double. He's at second base with now 1 down. Pedroia lifts it in the air to shallow left center. Rodriguez coming in. Will make the catch for the second out of the first inning. No advance for Holt with now 2 down. Here comes David Ortiz with 2 away in the Boston first inning. Rays going into the shift on the right side for Big Papi. .264, 12 homers and 31 runs batted in. 0 for 4 in yesterday's game and 1 for 8 in the series. Some poignant comments yesterday before the game from David Price, and I guess the most stinging or the loudest of the comments was that at times David appears to make himself look bigger than the game, which was kind of interesting.
And no comments from David after the game about what Price had to say.
1-0 to Ortiz. Fouled off to the left out of play.
Baseball players carry feuds, don't they?
It's amazing how you carry it from one season to the next even. It's
absolutely
not even about last series, but more about last year's playoff series and the time it took for David to get around the bases on not 1 but 2 home runs.
And quite frankly, it annoys a lot of teams and a lot of players.
Sure. It was the first time that they had met since the playoffs. David did not play in the game against Price in Tampa Bay, as that's in their first strike. As Ortiz talking to DJ Rayburn.
Ortiz thinking this pitch was up in the zone, but it looks like it, if anything, it was a little bit outside, but not too high.
Up and away, full count. Ortiz 5 for 29 at just 172 in his career against Bedard. Does have a home run against him. But a full count here with 2 outs and Holt at second base. Ortiz will take the walk and head on down to first base with 2 down in the inning. It's now time for the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag NESSONFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in our broadcast, brought to you by AT&T. Today's Sox Strong send us their photo of a successful batting practice here at Fenway Park. Not 1, not 2, but 3 batting practice baseball.
Yeah, that's a pretty good day right there.
2 down here in the first inning. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, and L. Duncan. Game 3 of the 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays. And Red Sox trying to win their 7th game in a row as Johnny Gomes stands in. Molina heads to the mound.
How about that performance last night by De La Rosa?
Incredible.
Wow.
Very impressive.
You know, we had seen him in spring training. We knew he had a wide fastball, a very good changeup. But the thing that impressed me last night was how he's refined his slider. And he is certainly was a 3-pitch pitcher in that ball game last night. Outstanding performance.
And it all working against the Rays. Went deep into the game so that the Red Sox bullpen could get some time off, and the Red Sox continued their roll. 7 shutout innings in his Major League debut. 2014 debut, and 4 hits, no walks, didn't hit anybody, 8 strikeouts.
Loved his pace. I mean, he got the ball right back on the mound, was feeling very confident in what his abilities were last night. A tremendous performance.
First pitcher to allow no runs or walks and at least 8 strikeouts in his first Red Sox start since Calvin Schiraldi did back in 1987. Holt at second, Ortiz at first, 2 down. Three and 0.
All 3 pitches in that exact same location, too. Gomes may have the green light here, 3-0 early in the ball game.
Has not swung at a 3-0 pitch yet this year. And he'll take strike 1. Away with runners in scoring position for Johnny. And Holt at second, Ortiz at first, 2 down. High for ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So how about this? The first major league at bat for Alex Hassan is going to be in the first inning with the bases loaded and a chance to do some damage here at Fenway Park.
Yeah, talk about having it all set up for you. He's got to be nervous.
Numbers with Pawtucket, 217 with a home run, 19 runs batted in. Born in Quincy, Massachusetts. 4-year letter winner at Boston College High School. As he takes strike 1. Strike over the outside corner, and it's 0-2. We've seen Hassan in spring training the last couple of years. Don't remember this much movement waiting in the box.
Yeah, a little bit different style, it looks like, for Hassan as he prepares to take a pitch. A little bit more bat movement than we can remember from spring training.
Takes the 0-2 for strike 3. Red Sox leave them loaded in the first inning. We're scoreless after 1. Took 95 years to get to Fenway. Glad you're here, though. And what a beautiful day it is at Fenway Park, as we hope you'll send us your videos today, whether you be here at Fenway Park or at home. Send it to 536-536. You can text it to 536-536, and the keyword is on TV, and we'll get you there as we head to the second inning. And Logan Forsythe leads it off for Tampa Bay. Forsythe, Loney, and Molina to face Lester. And Lester threw 24 first inning pitches. Picks up the bottom of the zone. That time was a pitch he was not getting credit for in the first inning. Forsythe 202, no homers and 5 runs batted in. On the ground, deep third, picked nicely by Herrera from foul ground. Throw is good. 1 out in the second inning. Nicely done on both ends. Send it down to L.
Well, we've been talking about a youth movement, so now it's time for today's poll presented by the new Scion TC. And that question is, which Red Sox prospect are you most excited for? Text Sox 1 if you think it's Matt Barnes, Sox 2 for Mookie Betts, Sox 3 for Henry Owens, or Sox 4 for Blake Swihart. You can text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. Text HELP for info. And visit Nesson.com for all of the legal stuff. Don, Jerry, your take?
Looking forward to all of them. Hearing a lot of good things about Mookie Betts so far with the Portland Sea Dogs.
Yeah, he seems to be getting the most pub of everybody.
Now 1 down here in the second inning. James Loney, the batter. Skies it to left. Gomes battling the sun as he moves back towards the warning track and onto it to make the catch. 2 down here in the second inning, and it brings up Jose Molina.
Tough sky up there today. No clouds. Not many clouds in the area to help on those fly balls. Blue skies up above. Slight breeze.
Rays catcher Jose Molina standing in with 2 quick outs here for Lester. Looks at strike 1. Molina hitting at just 130. Not known for his offense in his career, but generally the average not where it is right now. Herrera's been busy in the inning and up to the task. It's a 1-2-3 second for John Lester. Inning and a half in the books, no score. The all-access attraction pass that can save you up to 55% on attractions, tours, and museums. Buy it now at GoBostonCard.com. A beautiful day today and comfortable, especially on the bleacher seats today, as Eric Bedard works here into the bottom of the second inning. Bottom third of the Red Sox order. David Ross, Jackie Bradley Jr., Jonathan Herrera expected in the inning. Ross had 177, 2 homers, and 5 runs batted in. Long first inning for Bedard, 27 pitches. Unable to get the strikeout of Hassan to end the inning. Today's key matchup is brought to you by Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. David Ross against Bedard, 2 for 4, but the 2 solo home runs. Picks up that outside corner.
Plus, Bedard, a one-time member of the Red Sox, had a real bad knee at the time he was pitching here with Boston.
Traded by Seattle to Boston July 31st in non-waiver trade deadline in 2011. Was part of the 3-team deal with the Dodgers. 8 starts with Boston, 1-2 with a 4.03 ERA while with the Red Sox. Molina brought it back to the corner. Ross doesn't like it. You can see why. See that pitch number 4 is located.
Yeah, that ball quite a distance to the outside part of the plate, that's for sure. You can see how far Molina has to pull it back to get it to the corner.
Ross drives it high and deep to center field and gets under it, as does Jennings in center, and handles out number 1 of the second inning. Let's check back in with L.
All right, Don. Well, I'm not exactly sure if you can see it on JBJ's face, but Jackie Bradley Jr. is sporting a couple of shiners and a pretty swollen nose. That is, of course, after yesterday taking that ball to the face at the end of the game. I asked Jackie, with a 7-1 lead, why not just come out just for precautionary reasons? He says, you know what, once I could actually start seeing again, there was no way I was coming out of that game because, let's be honest, I wasn't really hurt. Speaking of his first home run of the season, Jackie says it felt really good. Now let's hope it's less like a faucet and trickles and more like a downpour of home runs. Don?
Yeah, hopefully get him started as he takes strike 1. .207 average to go along with that home run and 20 runs batted in. A strange play, ball coming off the wall and ricocheting off his nose.
Yeah, at first I thought he banged into the wall.
I did too. Line caught at shortstop by Zobrist, elevated and was able to make the grab. Solid contact, but a nice catch at shortstop by Zobrist, 2 down.
Yeah, that's the kind of luck you don't need. You know, when you're hitting .207 and swinging the bat pretty well, you hit another line drive, but there's Zobrist right there to make the catch. Nice play by Zobrist, and Bradley becomes the second out of the inning.
2 down here in the second. Jonathan Herrera, the batter. 222, no homers, 5 runs batted in, getting the start at third base. And offered at it, it appeared. Three for 4 in the ball game last night against the Rays. The run batted in for Herrera. It was the first multi-hit game of the season for Herrera. Not the first of his career, however, as he had 3-hit performance back on the 19th of September last year against the Cardinals as a member of the Colorado Rockies. Two and one. Top of the order, Brock Holt waiting on deck. Boston batting here in the bottom of the second inning. There's strike 2.
Best velocity yet on a fastball from Bedard at 91 miles an hour.
On the ground towards third base, Longoria on the run. Will get it there in time. Nicely done by Longoria. Some good defense in the inning for the Rays. Through 2, we're scoreless. They're powering Fenway Park, and they can power your home, too. Visit GulfElectricity.com today. It's on to the third inning back at Fenway. Kiermaier hits a fly ball to left field. Gomes battling the sun as he goes over and cannot make the catch. It is into the seats for the foul ball down the left field line. Runs out of our sideline down there as Gomes had his eyes shielded.
That's about as tough as it gets right there. I don't know if he knew exactly where the baseball was. It's almost like he lost it in the sun, and then he's getting in close to the wall.
Kevin Kiermaier, who had an inside the park home run here at Fenway Park. Second home run of the year for Kiermaier. Became the first player to hit an inside the park home run within his first 10 major league games since Joe Borchard of the White Sox did in 2002. Ground ball right side. Holt will flip to Lester. Gets over there with some fancy footwork to tag the bag. One down.
Well, so far so good at first base for Holt. He's had to handle a couple of throws. Now a ground ball. That's one where maybe, you could let go and let Pedroia take it. But the natural instinct is to go for everything. Holt does, and there's Lester covering the bag to complete the play.
Not the biggest infield you've seen in the league here for the Red Sox today. In fact, John Farrell before the game today said that 3 of the 4 infielders may not be able to go on rides at Six Flags, but they can play infield here today for Boston between Herrera, Pedroia, and Holt. And Zobrist struck out looking in the first inning. Let's take a look at the matchup, key matchup for John Lester. Ben Zobrist hitting at 188, 19 strikeouts against Lester.
It's not just a matchup, Don. It's a key matchup.
It's a key matchup.
It's a key matchup.
And this key matchup was brought to you by People's United Bank, and in fact, that's where John Lester does his banking. 6 in a row retired by Lester.
A few more cutters added in here as we get to the second time through the lineup. A lot of fastballs first time through. A few more cutters here in the third inning.
Foul back into the grandstand off to the right. Desmond Jennings waiting on deck. One out here in the Rays' third inning. Chopped left side. Herrera steps in front of Bogarts and slings it to first base in time to get Zobrist 2 down. Well, Sox fans, enter the Red Sox World Series ring raffle for your chance to win incredible Red Sox World Series ring prizes. The grand prize is a 2004, 2007, and 2013 Red Sox World Series ring. To purchase raffle tickets and learn more about the second and third place prizes, go to redsox.com/ring raffle.
Yeah, second place is a meet and greet with Don Orsillo.
I think it's much better than that. 2 down here in the third, and here's Desmond Jennings, who takes a curveball for strike 1. Jennings walked in the first inning, was left at second base. Slap foul, 1-2. Jennings 1 for 8 in the series against Boston. Has played and started in all 3 games of the series. Not close, 2-2. Lester in his career with 12 wins against Tampa Bay, 12-9, 4.30 against the Rays. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Desmond Jennings. Third strikeout for Lester. Scoreless after 2.5.
Cowboy Michael Rice
from New Haven, Connecticut. Back at Fenway in time for the list. Players who have worn the number 26 in Red Sox history. Wade Boggs, Reggie Cleveland, Lou Merlone, Aaron Seeley wearing the number 26. Agree, disagree, give us your opinion. Hashtag Ness and Lists. Let's know who we forgot. As Brock Holt wearing the number 26 takes strike one. Holt doubled in the first inning. The only Red Sox hits here through the first 2 innings. 2 of the base runners, though, back-to-back walks by Bedard in the first inning. Red Sox had a pretty good opportunity. Bases loaded, 2 down. Milton Mass native Alex Hassan struck out to end the first. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remiel, Duncan from Fenway Park. Game 3 of the series. Fly ball to right field, down the line towards the pole for Holt. It will fall fair. Jumps up into the seats for a ground rule double. Second double of the afternoon for Brock Holt. He's rolling right now.
Yeah, that ball actually got pushed back, I think, toward the playing field. It looked like it was going to be, you know, right near that pesky pole, and it seemed to me like Kiermaier let up a little bit on it. And the breeze, which is blowing slightly in that direction, I think pushed it back toward the playing field. So Holt picks up his second double. He's in scoring position with nobody out. So that ball come back? That's unusual. Usually that ball's hooking.
The wind is blowing from right to left now across the outfield. Holt at second base. Second time he has led off an inning with a double. Now Bogaerts pops it up shallow right. Forsythe, the second baseman, out. Glasses on. And he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. No advance for Holt. So Xander 0 for 2 with Dustin Pedroia coming up. Look at the breeze right now. We were briefly on television. We have one out, a runner at second base.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, we were briefly on television. They showed the flag and then they pulled back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Rose Marakian, our fine director. As a pitch in there for strike one. And a miss to Pedroia, 1-1. Dustin flying out to Sean Rodriguez in left field in the first inning. 0 for 1 today. High for ball 2, 2-1.
And certainly good news for Pedroia on that right hand. Didn't have any breaks, any fractures. Didn't have to put him on a disabled list, and only missing the one game. I'm sure it's sore for Pedroia right now, but good news for Boston.
On the corner, 2-2. Pedroia did not look enamored with that call. 2 strike hits. Dustin Pedroia, 31 of them. And J.J. Hardy of the Orioles, Victor Martinez of the Tigers.
And Bogart's right behind Pedroia.
'50th pitch for Bedard is a 2-2. Ball 3, full count. Rays leading in the season series 5-3 this year. So 5 of the games have been decided by 1 run. And all 5 of the Rays wins have been recorded by relievers. Starter does not have a win against the Red Sox this year for Tampa Bay. Fouled off to the right, out of play. Red Sox, even with this winning homestand streak that they get going, are under 500 here at Fenway Park this season. 14-17 coming in. 12-12 away from Fenway, where they are headed after this ball game today. Cleveland, Detroit, and Baltimore, part of the 3-city tour coming up. Pedroia to short. Zobrist on the backhand, had the runner hung up, but he goes to first for the out there. 2 down. Make sure Holt was headed back to second base, but Holt was kind of in no man's land there for a moment.
Yeah, he really had 2 options right there, and I think he had an option to get Holt. He certainly did. Holt was way out there, and he could have got the man in scoring position. Instead, he goes across the diamond to get the out at first base, and Holt remains at second base. But I think Holt thought originally that ball was going to get by Zobrist, get into left field, and trying to score. Then he was really trapped in the middle.
2 down. Holt at second. David Ortiz, the batter, was in this spot in the first inning when Ortiz walked. He'll take strike 1. David tried to hold up, but he goes around. According to the home plate umpire, doesn't even check. David wants him to check. Says I don't need to. 0-2.
Take a look from the side, see if Ortiz does go, and I think he did. Still having a conversation with Rayburn, the home plate umpire.
Ortiz strikes out. Not happy about it at all, and that ends this 3rd inning. We played 3 without a score from Fenway. as Dustin Pedroia got ejected from this game by DJ Rayburn, the home plate umpire. This was between innings, and he's been upset about his at bat in the inning. I guess. I don't know. I mean, John Farrell was out there arguing as well. I don't think John got tossed. He did not, but Pedroia did.
Yeah, it came as a surprise. I mean, between innings, we saw Farrell out there, and then we saw Pedroia come out to join him, and Dustin has been thrown out of this ball game, so he might have been yelling something from the dugout. Rayburn didn't like it and threw him out of the ball game.
So a shuffle in the infield. Jonathan Herrera going from third to second base. And Garen Cecchini ready to make his major league debut. As Herrera had been at third base. Cecchini called up before the ball game and now into the game after the ejection of Dustin Pedroia. Here's Evan Longoria, lead it off for the Rays. Longoria has the Tampa Bay hit today, a single in the first inning. It was to deep short, infield hit. Strike over the outside corner.
A lot of times when a guy gets thrown out of a ball game, it's from the first base umpire because they're closer. They can hear what's being said. Now, these dugouts are a long way from home plate and from the dugouts. At first, I thought Farrell might have been out there to talk about Ortiz situation, but it was actually Pedroia.
Swing and a miss. Longoria strikes out. Breaking ball from Lester. It's a fourth strikeout. From technologies that make your life easier to people who care about your community, Eastern Bank is committed to putting you first. Learn all the ways Eastern Bank puts you first at easternbank.com. One down for John Lester, fourth K of the game for the left-hander. Here's Jerry Sands, who is one of those strikeout victims from the first inning. Wind has picked up here, continuing to blow from right to left across the outfield. There's Sean Rodriguez on deck. Sands lines it down the right field line, foul beyond canvas alley.
Now the last at bat for Dustin Pedroia, he was not happy with a strike that was called on the outside part of the plate or off the plate, and you could tell by the look on his face and saying no, the ball's outside, and you know, maybe that carried over into the dugout and yelled something out, and all of a sudden he's ejected.
Swing and a miss, and Sands is down by way of the K. 3 strikeouts in a row for John Lester, who's got 5 on the day. Second time he's got Sands today.
Yeah, on the 3, it was a fastball to Jennings to end last inning, a curveball to Longoria, a curveball again to Sands to pick up the strikeout. Had to be tagged out by David Ross as that ball bounced.
Well, it's 10 in a row retired by Lester. 2 down here in the 4th inning. And here is Sean Rodriguez. Bounced out to shortstop in the 1st inning. On the outside corner, 1-1. Lester coming in at 5 and 6 into this outing today. Winning last time out against Atlanta. Biting in on him as jumps ahead here, 1-2 on the cutter.
Yeah, great cut fastball that time from John Lester. Just the way he likes it. Started on the inside corner and break it way off the inside part of the plate. and get that swing right on top of the cutter.
Rodriguez had a check swing, may have gone. Yeah, he did. Tom Woodring rings him up. First base umpire. Lester strikes out the side. He's retired 11 Rays in a row. We're scoreless after 3.5. Strong. That's why they've been named the #1 SBA lender in Massachusetts 5 years in a row. Eastern Bank, here you're first. Last half of the 4th inning back at Fenway Park without a score. Johnny Gomes to lead it off. Alex Hassan, David Ross expected in the bottom of the 4th inning. And strike one from Bedard. Gomes able to draw a walk in the 1st inning. One of 2 walks allowed by Bedard, and they were both in that 1st inning. Red Sox had him loaded but could not score. A leadoff double from Brock Holt in the 3rd. He could not advance. Two and one. Bedard giving him 3 home runs in his last 2 starts. This is in the air but foul. He'd gone a career-long 49 1/3 innings without giving up a home run, but allowed a home run to Brandon Moss in the start against the Oakland A's, and last time out against Deanna Navarro. Steve Tollison against the Jays. Foul back by Gomes. 2-2. Well, enjoy the rich taste of Farmhouse Blend coffee from Cumberland Farms. It's made from 100% Arabica coffee for the perfect balance of aroma, body, and taste. Stop in today for a cup of do-it-yourself coffee perfection for only 99 cents, any size. Gomes reaches out and sends it to right field for a base hit. Just went with it, and the Red Sox have their 3rd hit of the day. Send it down to L. Duncan.
All right, well, making his way to the plate for his second at-bat in the big leagues is local kid, Milton native Alex Hassan, who said that when he found out he was getting called up to his hometown team, the first person he called was his mom. She didn't answer, so he called his dad. He didn't answer, so then he resorted to calling his brother, who was with his family at the time, and he was able to give all of them the big news. He says that a lot of kids dream about playing in the big leagues, but he specifically dreamed about playing for the Red Sox, and even if it's just for a short time, he's going to take full advantage of the opportunity. Garen Cicchini, who's actually making his big league debut as well today, is roommates with Hassan, and said when he found out, Don, he looked like he was going to cry, and he kept repeating, I got called up, I got called up, I got called up.
Well, that's unbelievable. He is here, and in his first at bat ended up striking out in the first inning with the bases loaded. Mentioned, born in Quincy, Mass, resides in Milton, 4-year letter winner, Boston College High School, 20th round pick by the Red Sox in 2009. As they pitch in their first strike. His favorite food is sushi. Wants to visit Africa. Goodwill Hunting. If he wasn't a baseball player, he'd be a psychologist.
You and I could use some of that.
Gomes will lead off first as Loney holds him on, and Hassan fouls it back 1-2.
Well, how about the introduction, in your first at bat at Fenway? You get a bases loaded situation and 3 pitches. It's something you dream about your whole life, and that opportunity presents itself. There'll be many more.
One-two pitch is gonna miss. You're a local guy yourself who was already in the big leagues when you arrived with the Red Sox with the Angels. But what'd you do in your first debut? Do you remember?
I don't remember, Don, but I know I was nervous as this could possibly be. There was a large group that came up from Somerset, Fall River area, and it was just totally nerve-wracking the whole weekend.
Line foul into the seats.
It was actually easier playing here every day as a member of the Red Sox than it was coming in as a visiting player, because when you come in for the 3 days, you felt like you had to see everybody, and it just, your mind wasn't in the right place. And you actually look forward to getting out of here after the 3 days. But, when you got here every day to play, it was a totally different story.
I was going to say, if you're anything like you are now, you probably didn't want to see anybody. It's outside for ball 3. I didn't know you then.
Well,
I know you now, and I know you don't want to see anybody, really, man.
Well, you have obligations, and we're all set in our routines, obviously.
Yes.
And my routine and day games were a little bit different than going out and talking to a lot of people and having lunch.
Right? Yeah. I don't see you doing that. No. Have any interest in that whatsoever. Payoff pitch to Hassan. Into center field. First major league hit for Alex Hassan. That's going to feel good. Evan Longoria getting the baseball over to the Red Sox dugout for him.
That's a moment you never forget in your whole life. I think every player that plays this game remembers their first major league hit. Looked like it was a changeup that time, and able to stay back, keep the hands back, and drive it into center field for the base hit.
So first and second, nobody out, and David Ross coming up here for the Red Sox. Interesting today now with Garen Cicchini in the game at third base for Boston. It's the first time the Red Sox have had 2 players make their major league debut in the same game since 1993. Greg Blosser and Jeff McNeely both debuted for the Red Sox in '93. This is foul down the left field line. Alex Hassan has his first major league hit, 2 on, nobody out in the bottom of the 4th inning. pitch outside, 1-1. Johnny Gomes is single. Alex Hassan is single. David Ross getting his second look at Eric Bedard. He flied out to center field against Bedard in the second inning. Very late on the swing. Fastball by him at 1-2.
Yeah, Bedard at times today has had a pretty decent fastball, better than we remember in the past. A couple of times in 91, that last one at 90.
Bedard works pretty deliberately, especially with men on base. Ross drives it to right field. Kiermaier back there getting himself ready as he makes the catch. Tagging and hitting for third is Gomes. Throw going there. It's off the mark and gets away, but Gomes will remain at third base, backed up by the pitcher Bedard. One out in the inning, and second and third with a throw going to third. Hassan tagged up and moved to second base.
Yeah, good productive out there by David Ross, deep enough to right field to advance two base runners. And this throw is going to be very errant at third base. And fortunately for Kiermaier, it stayed in the ballpark. It was backed up by the pitcher. It didn't go into the dugout. It bounced off the wall, and the runners have to stay at second and third.
Red Sox have left four men on base through the first three innings, and now they have second and third, one out. And a chance here for Jackie Bradley Jr.
And the infield pulled in. The Rays have been having a tough time scoring runs, trying to stop runs early in the ballgame.
Bradley stung one his last time up, but it was caught at short by Ben Zobrist, and a fully extended lunge up into his left. Two and 0. Bedard wants to know where that was. Looked like a pretty good pitch. Three and 0. Rays have lost 5 games in a row, fallen now to 9.5 games off the pace in the American League East. Red Sox trying to grab the lead here in the fourth inning. There's a strike. Johnny Gomes doing some dancing down that third baseline, trying to rile Eric Bedard. Fouled straight back. Full count now.
That pretty good pitch to hit right there for Jackie Bradley Jr. was a fastball a little bit high in the zone. Follow straight back, but wouldn't mind having that one back again.
Gomes at third, Hassan at second, one down. Ball 4, bases loaded. Third walk allowed by Bedard.
Well, don't be surprised with the bases loaded with Herrera coming to the plate of any kind of bunt. Now, the only thing that kind of takes that away a little bit here is the bases loaded and it becomes a force play at home plate. But it seems like every time there's a man at third, he drops down a bunt.
So bases loaded, one down. Herrera is the batter. Grounded out to third base his last time up. Lifts it in the air to left center field. Overcoming is Sean Rodriguez, getting himself ready. Makes the catch. Here comes Johnny Gomes to try it. Throw is not good. And the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead. Sac fly for Herrera gives the Red Sox a 1-0 lead.
And from that position right there, very difficult to make the throw. As you look at the double box, there's the catch, the tag at third base, and this throw not even close. Way off target, and Gomes scores with no problem. So no bunt for Herrera with a man at third base that time. Swinging away and gets the ball deep enough for the sacrifice fly.
2 on, 2 down, and the top of the order, Brock Holt coming up. Holt has had success today against Bedard. A double in the first, a double in the third, but not able to score on either hit. Peel at third base, and I'm going to say that he left on time. It looked in our double box like he left on time.
Yes, it did.
Up for Holt for ball one. Inning started with a single by Gomes to right. Hassan with his first major league hit. Single to center. Ross with the fly out to right, getting Gomes to third. Bradley walked to load the bases. Then the sac fly for Jonathan Herrera. And it's the difference in the game. Two and 0. Bedard ranking third all-time among Canadian-born pitchers with 1,212 strikeouts, only behind Fergie Jenkins at 3,100 and Ryan Dempster, former Red Sox pitcher. That's a strike. 2-1 now to Brock Holt. Xander Bogaerts on deck. Our 2 outs here in the fourth inning. Swing and a miss. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, L. Duncan. It's game 3 of the 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays in the finale of this homestand for Boston. Full count. You know, Jerry, when I say my name, that means it's either the top or the bottom of the hour. It's a reset.
I thought so, because I've been looking up at the clock every time you say that, and it's right on time.
Brian
right on
time. Our producer, right on it. Payoff pitch. In the air to left. Sean Rodriguez heads back towards the track and over. Has to dive and can not make the catch. 2 runs will score, and the Red Sox will take a 3-0 lead. He was just kind of ranging over to make that play in the left field corner. It gets away from him, and the Red Sox played a pair. Brock Holt is back on again, and he drives in 2.
Yeah, right from the get-go, Rodriguez did not look comfortable going after that ball from Holt. You'll see where he's playing him pretty much straight away against a left-hander, and right there he slows up. And the ball just keeps pushing away from him, slicing away from him. I don't think he lost it in the sun at all. I think he just misplayed that ball. And you can see Bedard can't believe it, because that ball is up there a long time, certainly catchable. But for some reason, Rodriguez struggled out there getting to it.
It is a double and 2 RBIs. The wind is in that direction. But Sean Rodriguez misread that. Can't catch it. Red Sox put a 3 spot on the board so far here in the 4th inning. Now Bogaerts takes ball 1. Xander struck out in the first, popped out in the third. The strike, 1-1. Three doubles in the game now for Brock Holt in 3 at-bats. Left side, Zobrist, little slip, but he stays with it and is able to throw out Bogaerts with the damage done. Boston scores 3 times. At the end of 4, on top, 3-0. Back at Fenway Park, 3-0. Red Sox on top now for John Lester. Working here into the 5th inning. He's now retired 11 Rays in a row. Well, the Red Sox give him some offensive support. Logan Forsythe 0 for 1 in the game. Head in the count, 2-0. Lester facing Tampa Bay for the first time since beating them in Game 1 of the American League Division Series last season. Allowed 2 runs in 7 2/3 innings. That's 7 strikeouts in that game. Last year against Tampa Bay in the regular season was 2-1 with 4.32 earned run average. 4 starts against the Rays last year. And again, 12 wins in his career against Tampa. Grounded foul, full count. Off the top of the Rays dugout and on down the line. It's James Loney, then Jose Molina here in the top half of the 5th inning.
Time Lester trying to go to the outside corner with the cut fastball. Will put away Forsythe, but he's able to foul it off. Back to the fastball.
And it's strike 3. Forsythe doesn't like it. It appeared to be just off the outside edge. That's 7 strikeouts for Lester. Now 5 Ks in a row.
And that's a pitch that's been pretty consistent all afternoon as a strike.
Thank you, insurance. Great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. One down here in the 5th inning. James Loney, the batter. Loney flied out to the left fielder Johnny Gomes in the 2nd inning. 0 for 1. Strike 2. We're at the bottom of the zone that time. Win last time out for Lester against the Braves. After back-to-back losses to the Tigers and Blue Jays. Big strikeout day so far today for Lester. Through 4 1/3 now, 7 of them. Line down the right field line. This will get in fair and jump up into the seats. A ground rule double for James Loney, and that breaks up a string of 12 in a row retired by John Lester. That's the 2nd hit of the day for the Rays.
That cut fastball that time on the inside part of the plate. There you see the cut, and Loney takes it right down that right field line. One hop into the stands for the ground rule double. So Loney, who came in as a .250 hitter against Lester, 1 for 2 this afternoon.
Well, it's 2nd one down. Jose Molina, the batter. Lester now from the stretch. Fly ball foul and out of play. Strikeout high in the year for Lester. Career high 15 strikeouts, May 3rd against the Oakland A's. And the most strikeouts by a Red Sox pitcher since Pedro Martinez struck out 16. April the 8th of 01 against Tampa Bay.
That fastball, he's had great control with that fastball to the outside part of the plate all afternoon. Yeah, really pushed over against Molina, playing him in the opposite field and not deep.
Swing and a miss. Molina becomes strikeout number 8 for John Lester. 2 down.
And Lester back to the curveball to pick up the strikeout. Fastballs early in the count. Curveball to put him away.
Two down in the 5th inning as Kevin Kiermaier coming up here now for Kiermaier coming up here for the Rays. Kiermaier had that inside the park home run here last night. Swing and a miss for strike 1. First visiting player to have an inside the park home run at Fenway Park since David Nguyen. July 21st of 2004. Did it with the Baltimore Orioles. First Rays rookie to homer in his first career game at Fenway Park since Brent Abernathy. June 25th of 01. He called up on Wednesday. And Ryan Hannigan went on the DL. 3rd stint this year with the Rays. 2-2. And Zobrist waiting on deck. There are 2 outs here in the 5th. James Loney at second base. Jumping back out of the way, but it's strike 3. Kiermaier can't believe it. He is strikeout victim number 9. It's 3-0 Sox. Cecchini coming up. Hey, lots of sunshine. Red Sox have a 3-0 advantage as we head here to the bottom of the 5th inning. Garen Cecchini about to get his first major league at bat. His numbers with Pawtucket at .278. Home run, 21 runs batted in. As he takes strike 1.
The question was asked quite a bit when Middlebrooks went down with the injury. Why didn't they call up Cecchini? And the answer was that Farrell said he wasn't ready defensively.
Cecchini takes strike 2, and it's quickly 0-2. Led the Paw Sox this year, 49 hits. Was hitting at .278 as you saw. On base streak of 29 games. International League's longest on base streak. Grounds it foul. Alex Hassan already has his first major league hit today. And Cecchini trying to do the same thing. 329 minor league games in 4 seasons in the Red Sox system for Cecchini. Slaps it foul, still 0-2. Named an All-Star in each of his first 3 minor league seasons. Carolina League in 2013, South Atlantic 2012, and the New York Penn League in 2011. .408 on-base percentage over the course of his minor league career. Staying alive.
John Farrell talking this morning about him, and he said he's got a little Dustin Pedroia in him. He says he talks quite a bit. He says he loves the game. He's always talking the game.
He said he was in his uniform at 7 o'clock this morning. may have stayed the night here last night as Cicchini called up today.
7 o'clock, I was yet awake.
Me either.
I was thinking about going to Cleveland.
A little bit high, apparently. The pitch Bedard wanted, 2-2. .95 so far today. Working with nobody out here in the 5th inning. Strike 3 call. Cicchini didn't like it, and you can see why. Pitch appeared to be off the plate. It's a 4th strikeout for Bedard.
I would say, Don, today's a good day to be a pitcher. Right? It looks like certainly a pitcher's strike zone in this ball game today. Cicchini getting that fastball on the outside part of the plate. A good couple of inches off the outside part, but the strike call made by Rayburn.
One down here in the 5th inning. David Ortiz with the bases empty. Shift on here for Tampa Bay. Big Papi walked in the 1st inning. Struck out swinging in the 3rd. Little dribbler down the 3rd baseline is going to kick foul right off the inseam of the grass. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. So join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live and in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit RedSox.com for details. One out here in the 5th inning. Big Papi climbing back in as first action of the day for the Rays in the pen. Brad Boxberger. We saw in St. Pete. Pitch 99 for Bedard. In the air to shallow left. Rodriguez coming in will make the catch for the 2nd out of the 5th inning. Bedard has 2 outs here in the 5th, so 4 2/3. So we take a look at the pitching line, brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 3 runs all coming in the bottom of the 4th inning. RBIs, Brock Holt had 2. Jonathan Herrera 1. 3 walks, 4 Ks, and about to reach the century mark in pitches thrown today. There's Johnny Gomes, been aboard twice, a walk and a single, scored last time. (2-0).
Bedard actually working a little bit quicker today than he normally does, as you mentioned, Don. Usually a very slow pace for Bedard.
Now the Rays have their fair share of slow starters. David Price, Chris Archer. That's a strike. Picks up the corner, and it's 2-1.
Shane Victorino anxious to get back in that Red Sox lineup.
Didn't go. They checked with Tom Woodring, first base umpire, and Gomes ahead 3-1. Ball 4 down to first base goes Johnny Gomes, on for the 3rd time today. Look, our first fan video of the day. First major league hit for Alex Hassan. from Megan M. You can say your video, text it to 536-536, keyword on TV. Now a 2-out walk to Johnny Gomes, and Joe Madden out to the mound to take the baseball from Eric Bedard. Brad Boxberger will be coming in here for Tampa Bay as Bedard departs with the Red Sox on top 3-0. England Ford dealers. Brad Boxberger into the game here for Tampa Bay with 2 outs in the 5th inning and a runner at first. Takes over for Eric Bedard and appears in his 16th game of the year. 0-1 with a 1.59 earned run average. 23 strikeouts to 10 walks, and opponents hitting at 164 against Boxberger. Six straight scoreless appearances for Boxberger. Alex Hassan trying to hold up offers for strike one. Hassan, who struck out looking with the bases loaded in the 1st inning, singled and scored in the 4th inning, getting his first major league hit. Boxberger last working against the Toronto Blue Jays and had a bases loaded walk against the Blue Jays. Inherited runner scored in his last outing.
A few times we've seen him, Don. He's got a very good arm. Throws hard.
1-2.
That's pretty nasty, that changeup, because he kind of slings it up the home plate. Very tough to pick up. See that arm action, how he has it separated from his body quite a bit, and then you just kind of lose that changeup, especially when a guy throws about 94 miles an hour.
Outside ball 2, 2-2. Bedard, before leaving, struck out Cicchini and was able to get David Ortiz to fly out to left, but the 2-out walk for Johnny Gomes ended the day for Bedard. Now Boxberger has this one grounded to third base. Longoria on the run and in time. to get Hassan at first base. And to end the 5th inning, it's on to the 6th. 3-0 Boston. And today, lots of kids involved in the Wally Wave up on the Green Monster. That's where Wally does the Wally Wave. I wonder if he is asked to do it in public now, Jerry, when he moves around Boston. Center field, Jackie Bradley Jr. is there to make the catch for the first out of the inning.
Now, my people tell me that late last night after the game, he was out of clubs.
Doing the Wally Wave.
Yes. It's become a very big thing around Boston. And it's amazing he's been able to get up today and, you know, perform as he he does.
That's because he was waving all night.
Yes.
It's just kept rolling it in today.
Never went to bed. Right to the ballpark. It's at the club scene in Boston.
Bunch showing here for Jennings. Talking about how I stick out in a club. I think Wally would really stick out in a club.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss.
I mean, you can see it. You can see, you know, all kind of things coming in the off season. I mean, you know, birthday parties. And everybody be over doing the wave. And
weddings. It'll be big in weddings.
Huge at weddings. Yeah. Huge.
Electric slide. See you later. It's time to Wally Wave.
Yeah, goodbye.
So yesterday. Especially if you're 18 to 34. Two-one. There's a swing and a miss, and it's 2-2.
I can never figure out those dances at weddings.
No, I can't either.
I can't figure them out.
Stepping on other people, and I get lost.
I'd just rather sit in my chair and watch.
That's why the line dancing thing, the country dancing, can't do that either.
No.
You can hurt somebody. You're in the way. Outside for ball 3.
Now, the Wally Wave, you and I could do.
You can do it.
You know, we went to a wedding and they're all wrapped up in that. That'd be probably close to the end of the ceremony, you know, the end of the function. We could do that.
Absolutely. Jennings lifts it back a second. Shallow center. Herrera, Bogarts, and Bradley makes the catch. 2 down. This Toyota Game Break is brought to you by buyatoyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals. Here's Tom Caron. All right, Tom, thanks very much. It's amazing how fast Tom Caron can go from doing a hit on Yawkey Way to over my left shoulder.
Well, he'll be back up here in a few minutes, without question. Watches the game from up here behind us.
Evan Longoria fouls it off at the plate, 1-1. Again, the postgame show will be on Yawkey Way right here at Fenway Park after the game. Beautiful day for it. And so far so good on the scoreboard for Boston, on top 3-0. Longoria to center field, and that'll get in for a hit in front of Bradley Jr. Second hit of the day for the Rays third baseman.
Got a curveball from Lester, and one of the very few today that have really, kind of stayed up in a hittable spot in the zone. And Longoria takes him to center field with the base hit.
This ticket brings us John Lester's pitching line. 5 2/3, 3 hits. Most recent by Evan Longoria. No runs, a walk, and 9 strikeouts. 87 pitches deep as he begins a sequence here against Jerry Sands. 0 for 2. He struck out twice. Lester striking out the side in the 4th inning, and then again in the 5th.
Up TC's back.
Amazing.
Go back up quick.
Yep.
Security brought him right up.
Did the hit, right back upstairs he goes. Pitch 90.
That has been a strike all day long for John Lester, that outside corner.
This will get away from Ross. Had to go around the batter to run it down. No problem for Longoria to jog into second base.
Lester that time trying to snap off the curveball, and it bounces a little bit. Caron's away from Ross to his left, and Longoria gets in scoring position at second base.
Sean Rodriguez on deck. There are 2 outs here for the Rays. Top half of the 6th inning. Payoff pitch. Sands will jolt it foul off to the right, out of play. Now vote for the Amica Pitcher of the Week at www.nesson.com/Amica. Enter to win a $100 gift card from Nesson to the Yawkey Way team store. John Lester could be that guy. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Longoria at second, and the 3-2 again. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt for strike 3. It's an even 10 strikeouts for John Lester. Boston on top 3-0 at the end of 5½. And natural gas for facilities throughout the Northeast. Wow, bet you didn't know FW Web did that. For more on this proud Boston Red Sox sponsor, visit fwweb.com.
Well, we had a very special moment between innings, and I'd like to share with our folks that Don Orsillo has now reached 75,000 Twitter followers.
What a half inning that was.
I mean, you almost jumped out of your chair.
That was tremendous. It was close there for a couple days, and it just happened. So thanks to all who do follow at Don Orsillo, swing and a miss. And there's lots of room for the rest of you who don't.
Oh, you got a lot of room left.
Come aboard.
Yeah.
At Don Orsillo. But yeah, just happened in between innings. Very exciting. We're trying to get that by spring training, but we are 56 games in. But that's all right. A little delay.
Good things take a while.
You know, try to get the goals. In fact, had to take a batting practice trying to get 75K, as you may recall. But it's a great
that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
It was all tied into it.
It was supposed to happen about then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been a little tardy in happening. Those of you who do follow realize that there is nothing of any real value in any of my tweets. But come along anyway, at Don Orsillo.
Well, we certainly know what you eat every day.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes. And during the off season, it's every day.
Yeah.
That's all you get. Ross 0 for 2. He's fly to center, fly to right. And a swing and a miss. Strikes out here to open up the bottom of the 6th inning.
And talked about the fastball from Boxberger, and this one at 95 miles an hour. Past David Ross. Ross right now on a 3-game hitting streak, but 0 for 3 so far this afternoon.
One down for Jackie Bradley Jr. He is lined to short, walked and scored. Bedard charged with all 3 runs that the Red Sox have in the game. Boxberger got the final out of the 5th as the first out here of the 6th inning. In the air to shallow left. Out goes Zobrist. In comes Rodriguez. And it's Rodriguez who handles out number 2. Want an easy way to pay for your Dunkin' Donuts? Download Dunkin's free mobile app. With the app, you can load a DD card and pay right from your phone. Receive exclusive mobile offers, enroll in auto recharge, and instantly send DD gift cards. Message and data rates may apply. For full terms of use, visit www.dunkindonuts.com. Red Sox Nation runs on Dunkin'. Jonathan Herrera taking a hack for strike 1. Started the game at third base, shifting over to second base. Dustin Pedroia was ejected from the game by DJ Rayburn, the home plate umpire, arguing in between innings. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Yeah, Pedroia is probably still fuming down in the Red Sox dugout. Clubhouse, rather.
Herrera stays alive, fouls it back. Well, baseball is back in season, so gather 20 or more of your friends, family, and coworkers for a group outing at Fenway and secure exclusive access to seats. Call 617-226-6835 or redsox.com/groups. Today really feels like the first summery day here at Fenway Park we've had. Very comfortable conditions.
Well, hopefully we put a pretty lousy spring behind us. The weather this spring was not very good, and it seemed like it traveled everywhere that we did. With the exception of when you guys were in Atlanta last week, where it was very warm.
Quite warm. Mid-80s. Rare thought about it. Ball in the dirt. 2-2. We'll see his 7th pitch in this at bat.
Back-to-back changeups that time, and that time Herrera able to foul it off.
Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt for strike 3. Brad Boxberger has retired all 4 Red Sox that he has faced in the game. We played 6, 3-0 Boston. Head into the 7th inning, and Sean Rodriguez leading it off here against John Lester. Rodriguez 0 for 2 today, grounded out to short in the 1st inning, struck out swinging in the 4th inning. Lester with a 10 strikeout performance here today. That is through the first 6 innings. Second time this year he's been in double figures. The top strikeout performance was a career high. The 15 strikeouts he had in 8 innings against the Oakland A's back on May 3rd. Juan Carlos Oviedo up in the pen. Bunt bid down the 3rd baseline. Cecchini was deep and has no play, so just holds on to the baseball. Bunt single for Sean Rodriguez to open up the 7th inning.
Yeah, very, very nice bunt there by Rodriguez. You see how deep Cecchini is down at 3rd base, and then charging it, really had no place to go with it. The idea when you're bunting to 3rd base like that, try to keep it on that grass, the dirt. If not, let it roll foul, and at least you get another chance. But that was a perfect bunt that time by Rodriguez.
Lead runner on here for the Rays in the 7th inning, and here's Logan Forsythe. 0 for 2, grounded out to 3rd base in the 2nd inning, struck out looking in the 5th. "15 strikeouts for John Lester, one of the most strikeouts ever by a left-handed Red Sox pitcher in a regulation 9-inning game. Framed there by Ross, but just outside. At times he's gotten that call today. Foul above the Rays dugout. Forsythe batting with a runner at first. Nobody out here in the top half of the 7th inning. James Loney waiting on deck, doing some work on the bat. Swing and a miss. Forsythe goes chasing after that pitch. It's strikeout number 11. Fastball riding away.
Yeah, second time he has got him with the fastball today. Struck him out in the 5th inning on a fastball, and once again he is wearing out that outside part of the plate with his fastball this afternoon. Very late swing by Forsythe there.
One down, runner at first base. Forsythe unable to move the runner along, and here's James Loney. Flied out to left in the 2nd inning. Double to right field. Ground rule double in the 5th inning. Jumping back as the count evens at 1-1. Lead for Sean Rodriguez held on by Brock Holt. In again. 105 pitches for John Lester, and so far no action in the Red Sox pen. Might be now some stirring going on, and just as I say it, somebody is now getting up. Now getting hit is Loney. As he'll head on down to first base. Some pitches inside, and appeared there may have been a cutter that got him.
Yeah, I think so, Don. He kept trying to go inside against Loney and kept missing that inside corner, and this time here he does go with looks like maybe the straight fastball and get him off the back knee. Looks like a pinch hitter coming up for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, before Molina be Escobar, who was scratched from the game, who's in the original starting lineup today. Took some ground balls at shortstop and thought the hamstring was going to be too hard for him to play with. So here he is pinch hitting, apparently okay now. As he pinch hits here in the 7th inning as the potential tying run comes to the plate. The action in the pen is Edward Mujica, who has not been up long. Escobar takes strike one. He's leading hitter against left-handers, hitting at .370. Three home runs, 13 runs batted in so far for Escobar. It's a fly ball to left center field. Jackie Bradley Jr., the wind takes it, will move over and make the catch for the second out. Late adjustment for the Red Sox center fielder, but he gets there, 2 down. Well, did you miss the newest episode of Nesson Clubhouse? Stick around after post-game coverage to find out how to locate the sweet spot on a bat and how to spin tracks like the Team DJ. Plus, Gary and David Ortiz's son D'Angelo face off in round 2 of Batter Up. Don't miss Nesson Clubhouse, where kids run the show, tonight at 5:30.
You can hear the sweet spot when you make contact. You can hear it.
Two down, runners at first and second. Kevin Kiermaier getting his third at bat today against John Lester. And a swing and a miss for strike one. Kiermaier making his major league debut April the 12th. Down to the count 0-2.
Good, still good velocity on that fastball from less than 94, up and in on Kiermaier.
Outside, 1-2. Zobrist able to get Kiermaier out. Strikeout number 12 of the day for John Lester, as he will walk off here. 112 pitches deep into his outing. 7 shutout innings today, as he picks up his 12th strikeout. Crowd standing as he comes off. And the Red Sox have a 3-0 advantage here at 7th inning stretch from Fenway. We'll keep it right here for God Bless America.
Centerfield Video Board. We thank you for supporting the Red Sox Foundation, which helps make dreams come true for the families of New England. We now ask you to please rise and stretch and sing along with Fenway Park organist Josh Cantor as he plays Take Me Out to the Ball Game. But first, we welcome back one of our 240 Red Sox scholars, Junang Ni, who will perform God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Strike 3 call over the outside corner. The troubles for Zobrist against Lester continue. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Desmond Jennings. Rodriguez had a check swing, may have gone. Yeah, he did. Lester strikes out the side. He's retired 11 Rays in a row. Well, today's game summary is brought to you by Xfinity, as John Lester with 12 strikeouts today and has thrown 112 pitches through the first 7 innings. Bedard on the hook on the other side, allowing the 3 runs the Red Sox have in 4 2/3 innings. Brock Holt, another big day today. 3 doubles, 3 for 3 with a couple RBIs. Red Sox come to bat here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The pitcher Juan Carlos Oviedo into the game here for the Rays. 18th appearance, 1 and 2 with a 2.12 earned run average. Holt gets jammed and fouls it back. Changes for the Rays. Ben Zobrist, who is at shortstop, now moves to right field. And staying in the game is Escobar, now at shortstop. Ali Solis coming in as the catchers Molina was pinch hit for. That one to the backstop as it slips out of the hand to Oviedo.
Yeah, that was a changeup from Oviedo. Certainly, the crowd gets a little excited every time a ball flies anywhere that's not close to the strike zone.
Even if it's 10 feet away from the batter.
A changeup that changed up, but it was a little bit off mark.
Ball 4, and Holt draws a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Was Holt had a day for a leadoff hitter. 3 walks, 3 doubles. The walk, he's been flawless at first base. Playing some very, very nice baseball for the Red Sox.
Lead runner on here in the 7th inning. Xander Bogaerts looking to reach for the first time today. Has struck out, popped out, and grounded out to short last time up. Runner goes. Bogaerts gets out of the way. The throw down is not going to be in time. Brock Holt awkwardly went over the base at second base. And a theft there for Brock Holt.
Yeah, Holt picks up his 3rd stolen base of the season. See, Bogaerts, I think he actually swung at that pitch. I don't know if that was supposed to be a hit and run or a straight out steal, but it looked like Bogaerts swung at that pitch. And Holt safe at second base. If it was a hit and run, that was an impossible pitch to make contact on. I'm glad he didn't make contact on it.
So Holt at second base with the stolen base, and Xander Bogaerts down on the count 0-1. Fouls it off to the right, 0-2. Well, time now for the twisted but true fact of the game. Red Sox won their 6th straight game last night, a season-long win streak, the longest streak in the majors following a double-digit drought since Baltimore also won 6 in a row from August 29th through September 4th of 2004, following a 12-game losing streak. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea is the refreshing hard iced tea. It tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. Runner at second base, nobody out, last of the 7th inning. Red Sox trying to add on to a 3-0 advantage. Foul back again.
Seems like every time Bogaerts has been up today, he's been asked to try to move the ball to the right side because Holt has been at second base. Of course, with 2 strikes, you're on your own here.
Swing and a miss, and Xander strikes out. That is the first strikeout for Oviedo. 1 out here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, it's a fastball up and away this time. A good fastball from Oviedo. And Xander chasing a couple of pitches that time out of the strike zone. One may have been because of a hit and run.
1 out runner at second. Garen Cecchini getting his second major league at bat. Struck out looking in the 5th inning. Two and 0. Oviedo has taken the loss in each of his last 2 appearances. That includes on Friday night. That's where he hit Johnny Gomes with a pitch. And the walk-off triple by A.J. Pierzynski. He was tagged with the loss on Friday. Joe Maddon's Rays have lost 5 games in a row. Cecchini to left field. Sean Rodriguez back, and it's going to grab some wall. First major league hit for Garen Cecchini is going to be an RBI double that puts the Red Sox on top 4-0.
Well, how unusual is it to see in the same game 2 rookies pick up their first major league hit? We saw Hassan get one up the middle earlier in the ball game. Now Cecchini goes down on a low fastball and finds the left field wall. Kind of a nice day here at Fenway for 2 young players.
One out runner at second base, a run in. And David Ortiz will be put on intentionally with first base open. Second walk for Ortiz, the first of the intentional variety today. Pulling a doubleheader at the office, W.B. Mason's wide selection of Green Mountain Coffee K-Cup packs will keep you running and guarantees to satisfy any fan base. Order by 11:30 a.m. and get free same-day delivery. Who but W.B. Mason? One out, runners at first and second. Red Sox have grabbed a run in their half of the 7th inning. There's Johnny Gomes. He's walked, singled, and scored, and walked again. He's been on base 3 times today. Blue Jays have already won today. They beat Kansas City 4-0.
My goodness, that had to be a Burley game.
Yeah, probably was.
That's been over for a while.
Swinging a foul tip, 1-1. It was Burley.
It was Burley.
And the first pitcher to get 10 wins this season. He's 10-1.
I looked at the scoreboard. It said 4-0 and a winning next to it. And that was about 10 of 4.
10-1. Mark Burley. Gomes reaches out, fouls it off to the right. 1-2. Aaron Cicchini, who just got his first major league hit at second base. David Ortiz intentionally walked at first base. 1 out. Outside, 2-2. Oviedo, the third pitcher used today by Tampa Bay. Bedard started. He's on the hook. He went 4 2/3, giving up 3 runs. Brad Boxberger, an inning and a third, allowing no runs and no hits. Oviedo, though, giving up a run so far here in the 7th inning. Nobody warming behind him right now in the Rays' pen. Swing and a miss. Gomes strikes out. First time he's been retired today. 2 down.
After everything being away from Gomes, the fastball right down the middle that time from Oviedo to pick up the strikeout.
Two down. Alex Hassan, the batter. Struck out in the first, singled, and scored in the 4th inning. Grounded out to third base in the 5th. That hit in the 4th. First major league hit for Alex Hassan. Pitch inside to Hassan.
Changeup has been off target for Oviedo here in this inning. Changeup again, that's going to go way inside on Hassan.
Way for ball 2, 2-0. A little bit closer, but called a ball again. Oviedo wants to know where it is. 3-0.
Hostafer's low. Umpire said yes. Oviedo said okay.
Now 2 rookies with hits here today. Their first major league hits. Alex Hassan, Aaron Cicchini. First time since 1975. Steve Dillard and Andy Merchant. Hassan taking, and he takes ball 4 to load the bases. A strange inning for Oviedo. 2 strikeouts and now 3 walks. One of them was intentional. Jim Hickey headed out. Sent it down to L. Duncan.
Don, love talking to the young guys, the rookies, because, well, they're just so refreshing and adorably awkward. I was talking with Alex Hassan before the game just about some of his favorite music and what he was going to choose for his walk-up song. After about 35-40 seconds, he was like, I have no idea. What do you think it should be? I started laughing. I said, Alex, I have absolutely no idea. After that, maybe Run DMC, Walk This Way, Aerosmith. What do you think, Don?
I'm not sure what he had. I didn't even notice when he went up.
I'm not sure that he has one, actually. I haven't played anything.
I think he should go Dave Matthews. When in doubt, always Dave Matthews.
Yeah, one of the 7 songs that He plays in concert.
Bases loaded, 2 down. David Ross 0 for 3 today. And a swing and a miss.
What did Al call him? Awkwardly.
Awkward. Adorably awkward.
Adorably awkward.
Yes. They are. There's no way to describe it. They kind of want to talk to you. They don't know what to say. They don't look you in the eye. It's cute.
Outside to Ross, 1-1. Strike to Ross, 1-2. Four runs, 6 hits, no errors for Boston. No runs, 4 hits, no errors for Tampa Bay. Red Sox trying to make it a clean sweep and grab their 7th win in a row. And the Rays their 6th loss in a row. 1-2 pitch. Down low, 2-2. It's been a 30-pitch inning for Oviedo, and he's not out of it yet. Outside, ball 3. Everybody's going to be on the move here. Bases loaded, 2 down, and a full count to David Ross. Ross lines out to third base. Evan Longoria able to stab it down there at third. A hot shot at the end of the inning. Red Sox get a run. Lead it 4-0. Right after the game, live from Yawkey Way, TC and Steve will recap the 3-game set versus Tampa Bay. Get John Farrell's post-game thoughts. Can't go wrong when you buy right at WB Mason. Top of the 8th inning back at Fenway. Red Sox tacked on another run in the bottom of the 7th inning, and it's on to the 8th with a new Red Sox pitcher. Edward Mujica comes into the game for Boston. His 21st appearance. 2-1 with a 6.41 earned run average, 12 Ks, 6 walks, and opponents hitting over 300 against Mujica at 304. Takes over for John Lester, who's very good today. 7 shutout innings from Lester. Gives up 4 hits. Walked 1 batter, and that was back in the first inning, and struck out 12. It was all good today. Got a little bit of offensive support. There's a liner into right field for Ben Zobrist, who has a base hit to begin the 8th.
Well, Zobrist today moved up to that top spot in the batting order, leading off. Picks up the leadoff base here in the 8th inning, picking on the first pitch from Mujica, a fastball. And Zobrist with kind of that rollover swing. Picks up the line drive base hit.
Lead runner on here for Tampa Bay. Here is Desmond Jennings. He had the only walk today against John Lester back in the first inning. Since then, a strikeout and a flyout. Andrew Miller up in the Boston pen. Bunt bid by Jennings. He went after it for a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, right now looking for base runners any way they can get him, down by 4 runs in the ball game, and Jennings trying to reach. Looks like he was trying to go down to third base with that, but the ball was away from him.
Action for the Rays. Their closer Grant Balfour warming in the pen. Not a lot of action for him lately. Rays losing their last 5 games in a row. Jennings and a foul tip evens the count at 2-2. Now, for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 donation once again this season. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. Ben Zobrist at first base. Desmond Jennings the batter. Grounded down the third baseline. It is a foul ball.
Regardless, fair or foul. Nice pick over at first base by Brock Holt on that. Throw from third base has gone a bounce, and look at Holt. I mean, it's like he's been there his whole career.
Outside, full count. And Mujica last worked on Friday night against Tampa Bay. Got the first 2 outs of the 10th inning before handing the baseball off to Andrew Miller. It's a rising fastball. It's ball 4, and the first 2 Rays have reached here in the 8th inning against Mujica. So a hit and a walk, 2 on quickly here for Tampa Bay in the 8th. 13 years ago today, Milwaukee, the first Pawtucket Red Sox pitcher to throw a perfect game, and they had the honor of doing that game against the Charlotte Knights, AAA farmhand of the Chicago White Sox.
Was that a 7-inning game or a 9-inning game?
9-inning game. Perfect game. Longoria takes pitch outside for ball 1. Fouled off to the right, 1-1. Longoria with a single in the first, struck out in the fourth, and single to center in the sixth inning. There's strike two.
Split of that time from Mejica. He's been throwing quite a few sliders to the first two batters. That time he goes with the split against Longoria.
Breaking ball to third base. Cicchini touches third, fires to first, double play. 5-3 in the Twin killing, 2 down in the inning.
You know, he was heads up too because he was thinking about going a second. He was thinking about maybe a triple play because he's heading toward the bag. There's the scoop, a peek towards second, no play there, goes across the diamond and gets the deuce. So a good day for the rookies, for the Red Sox.
Two down, Jennings at second base, and Jerry Sands coming up. He is fourth at bat of the day. First three have all been strikeouts, and all three of those at bats were against the Red Sox starter, John Lester.
You gotta like that, you know, always anticipate what you might do if the ball's hit to you in those kind of situations. And to his credit, he was thinking about the possibility of going third to second, but made the wise choice. 4-0 lead, get the 2 outs.
Off the end of the bat, foul. Young kid to our right with his dad got that foul ball, then threw it away.
The kid did?
Yeah. His dad handed him the ball and he fired it away. 2-1 pitch. On the ground to short. Bogaerts step to his left, plants and throws, and off the glove. Brock Holt clanks off his glove at first. But he's safe as Jennings goes to third, Sands to first. The first miscue at first base for Holt today. Let's see how they rule it.
That should be an error on Holt, I'm sure. I don't think the ball bounced going to first base. Let's take another look. There's the throw from Bogaerts. Yeah, I just didn't catch the baseball.
It is an E3. Allows the inning to continue and gives Sean Rodriguez a chance. Sands at first, Jennings at third, 2 outs in the Tampa Bay 8th inning.
Gonna try the split.
Misses, 2-1. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, L. Duncan from Fenway Park for Game 3 of this 3-game series. Red Sox and Rays, last game of the homestand for Boston. We're heading out on a 3-city tour. Cleveland, Detroit, and Baltimore coming up. That's strike 3. Mejica out of the inning unscathed. 7.5 done, 4-0 Red Sox. SN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Lee and Jamie will have a complete recap of today's game against the Rays, plus the sounds of the week. And bottom of the 8th inning back at Fenway Park. Red Sox still blanking the Rays here 4-0 into the 8th inning. And the closer for Tampa Bay in. 21st appearance for Grant Balfour of the year. 0-1, a 5.49 earned run average. He is 9 out of 11 in save opportunities, but there's been nothing to save lately for the Rays, losers of their last 5 straight games. Jackie Bradley Jr., Jonathan Herrera, and Brock Holt scheduled to bat here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Balfour has not pitched since last Sunday against the Red Sox. We retired Dustin Pedroia for a 1-out save. There's a ground ball to Forsythe at second base, and Bradley Jr. is out number 1 of the 8th inning. Well, stay tuned today following WB Mason's extra innings for Red Sox Final, presented by Esurance. TC and Steve will be live on Yawkey Way. They'll have viewer tweets. Use hashtag Sox Final to get your tweet on the air. Plus, they'll preview the upcoming series in Cleveland against the Indians. Red Sox closer Koji Uehara up in the pen. Not be a save situation, but perhaps some work for Koji today. Jonathan Herrera has grounded out to third, a sac fly and a strikeout. The RBI, the 6th for him in a Red Sox uniform. This season, 53% of the pitches Balfour has thrown have been strikes, but only 55% have been fastballs. Been staying away from his fastball more than you would expect for a closer. But there's the fastball right there at 93 miles an hour to strike out Herrera. 2 down.
A little bit generous that time for Balfour, as that fastball appeared to be away, but I will say this, Rayburn has been fairly consistent all day with these calls just off the outside part of the inside corner and outside corner.
And 2 outs in the 8th inning. Brock Holt, the batter. Been on base 4 times today, doubled each of his first 3 at bats, and then walked and scored in the 7th inning. To left field, Sean Rodriguez can't catch it. Off the glove, doesn't get very far away from him. Holt is headed for second base. He'll get there. Should be his 4th double of the day.
Yeah, 4 doubles, a walk, and a stolen base, 2 RBIs. Talk about getting it done from the leadoff spot. This ball slicing away a bit from Rodriguez out there in left field. As you can see, it start to slice right there. Certainly a catchable ball for Rodriguez, but that should go as a double.
It is indeed a double. First 4-hit game for him since September of 2012. He's at second with 2 down. Xander Bogaerts 0 for 4 today. 2 strikeouts, a pop out, and a ground out. This will get through Solis, and to third base now goes Holt.
Probably goes a pass ball. We'll take a look. It's a breaking ball right there, and yeah, that should have been handled by Solis. It gets by him and all the way to the backstop. Holt to third.
Bogaerts hits it in the air to left, down the line towards the pole, and that ball is going to be foul. To the left of the pole, according to Ted Barrett, looking down that line. Bogaerts thought he had it. Looking to the dugout.
Very, very close, but just to the left of that foul pole.
Now Farrell's coming out.
Yeah.
We may have had a chance to look at it and could be challenging.
That's going to be a tough one.
The challenge on here as Ted Barrett, third base umpire, coming over to get the word from home plate umpire DJ Rayburn, and they will check it out. See what angles we have of this.
Well, from that angle there, it does look like it's just to the left of the foul pole. Joe Madden's in a conversation down there with the umpires.
I'm not sure what Joe is arguing about. It is a reviewable play.
Right.
They've not yet gotten to the headsets because Joe interfered on the way over.
It's like Joe doesn't want him to get to the headsets.
They are in the headsets now. Now, the views we have are from the high first camera, which is kind of tough. Looking at that shot down the line.
Yeah, it's not directly down the line, but close to it. It's a very, very tough call. It's going to be a tough call for the umpires.
Again, this is what we've got. They will have more to choose from, but this is our shot. Call on the field, a foul ball. And the call made by Ted Barrett, third base umpire and crew chief, as they now are in contact with New York, waiting on this manager's challenge. Bogaerts thought it was gone, but he was headed down the first base line and surprised that it was called foul. And looked into the dugout almost immediately to John Farrell.
Joe Madden's still kind of lingering out in front of that dugout area. We'll slow it down a bit, see if we can pick it up a little bit easier this time. And from that angle, it just looks like it's to the left of the pole. But again, that's off just a little bit.
Foul ball, as they have come to the conclusion that it was indeed foul. Three minutes, 13 seconds, the review time. And call on the field stands. A foul ball to Xander Bogaerts. 1-1 the count. Foul ball off to the right, out of play. 1-2. Cecchini waiting on deck. Already has his first major league hit and RBI. The double in the 7th inning. Bogarts rolls it over foul. We'll do it again, 1-2. Well, tomorrow night at 6, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Men's Warehouse. Proudly introducing Joseph Abboud. TC and Eck will preview the 3-game series in Cleveland, plus all the news and notes from around the majors. That's tomorrow at 6 on NESN. Proudly introduce you to Joseph Abboud right behind home plate today. 1-2 pitch foul back in the direction of Joseph Abboud. Holt at third, 2 down here in the 8th. Bogarts fouls off another. Eric Bedard on the hook today for the Rays, 4 2/3, giving up 3 runs. Brad Boxberger on an inning into 3rd, giving up no runs. Juan Carlos Oviedo was charged with a run in the 7th inning. Now Grant Balfour working here in the bottom of the 8th. Two and two.
I'll tell Joseph Abboud that I'm going to be wearing the blue blazer 4 times on this trip.
No way.
Today, first day today, and there's going to be 3 more times.
Wow.
That the blue blazer is going to be worn.
Blue blazer, 4 of the, how many games are we doing on this trip? 6?
6.
4 of the 6. You're going to run out the same time?
No, not 4 of the 6. No, it's more than that. I got a suit I'm wearing twice. 2 suits I'm wearing twice, and then the blue blazer.
Right. We have 8. We have 8 games. So half of the time you're going to wear a blue blazer. Bogarts strikes out, and that ends the 8th inning. Have to think about this some more. 4-0. Red Sox have the lead.
I can tell you exactly what day it is.
Is brought to you by your Honda dealers of New England. The new Scion TC. Your Subaru dealers of New England. and by Southwest Airlines. Beautiful day in Boston as we play into the 9th inning in the Back Bay of Boston with the Red Sox on top 4-0. And into the game for the Red Sox, their closer in a non-save situation, Koji Uehara, into his 24th game of the year, 1-1 with a 0.79 earned run average in save opportunities. He is 11 for 11. How about the Ks to walks? 33 Ks to 3 walks, and it's strike one to Logan Forsythe. Forsythe has grounded out to third and struck out twice. Flared foul, 0-2. Fastball that time from Uehara. Edward Mujica worked the 8th inning, gave up a hit, no runs, walked a batter, struck out a batter. Worked his way around a walk and an error committed behind him by Brock Holt. Swing and a miss. Uehara makes quick work of Logan Forsythe. One down in the 9th.
Third time Forsythe has struck out today, and all 3 times have been on fastballs. It's a fastball from Uehara at 88 miles an hour to pick up the strikeout.
One out in the 9th. James Loney making his way to the plate. He's fly to left, doubled, and last time up was hit by a pitch. Strike one.
Cut fastball that time from Uehara. We've seen a number of those recently from him. Mixing it in with his fastball and splitter.
Fastball at 88, cutter at 83.
And the splitter at 81.
Strike two. Into the glove of Uehara. Makes the catch. 2 down. He's living well.
Had it all the way, didn't he?
He wasn't even sure he even had it at all.
No.
He looked in.
Line shot. Put the glove out and hope the ball ends up in it, and then be surprised.
Two down in the 9th inning. And El Escobar's second at bat. He pinch hit with 2 on and 1 out in the 7th and flied out to center. Now he bats with the bases empty in the 9th. Fly ball left center field. Jackie Bradley Jr., Johnny Gomes. It's Johnny Gomes. Red Sox have won 7 in a row as they sweep the Tampa Bay Rays. Well, what a great homestand this was for the Red Sox after being swept on the last homestand, and the 10-game losing streak is a distant memory now. The Red Sox have won 7 straight. And win today 4-0 as John Lester gets his 6th win. We'll have more from Fenway after this.